and Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it?
Angel Reese swings. Caitlin Clark's head touches her arm. The throng becomes motionless. When referees get together, everything shifts. The WNBA was not the origin of this rivalry. In college, it blew up. History followed Clark and Ree's reunion.
This was already personal before that time.
On a typical WNBA night, the tension between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese did not appear out of nowhere. With championship stakes, viral celebrations, and fan bases that quickly took sides and never wavered, it was constructed under harsh campus lights. When they turned pro, that enthusiasm didn't diminish. It accompanied them on their journey, and it only grew louder after they joined the league. It wasn't just another regular season game between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. The cost of tickets increases. Hours before tip-off, social media begins to buzz. Sports shows are flooded with debates. The WNBA is aware of the growing national spotlight. As the top overall pick going into the league, Clark was the scorer that everyone had been anticipating. Box office, bold confidence, deep range, and as the enforcer, Reese was unrelenting on the glass, averaging 13.5 rebounds per game and treating the paint like his own. Flash versus force, score versus rebound queen. The stakes are therefore quite high when these two share a court, and you could see the tension rising long before that arm ever swung. Additionally, from the first tip, she wasn't easing into this one, as you could hear in the music. Clark acted aggressively during the Indiana Fever's game against the Chicago Sky. No hesitation, no feeling out process. She's attacking downhill from the first touch, cutting through opponents and finishing at the rim as if she's been here for years. Layups off glass and brief, transitional surges. She seized early control because she wanted it. Then the familiar moment arrived. Aaliyah Boston set up a sturdy on-ball screen at the music top, allowing only a small amount of daylight, and Clark did what Clark does. 7 points in the first quarter alone with a single, fluid action, rise, release, trademark jumper, and music net. But music scoring wasn't the only aspect of this. She also played a defensive role, disrupting rhythm, challenging shots, and hands in passing lanes. When the critics questioned music's defense, she responded silently. This is when things started to get interesting. She changed course. Rather than pursuing every item, she began planning. Defenders can thread passes through narrow windows, kick out to open teammates, and read music. She started to feel the offense of the Fever. Clark's vision governed rhythm, tempo, and spacing. The arena sensed it. She wasn't merely performing well. The game was under her control. But hold on, this is where things started to go wrong. Clark attacked the lane late in the third quarter and drove hard to the hoop once more, head down and at full speed. Another daring finale appeared to be on the horizon. Angel Reese turned over from behind. Instead of trying to stop the shot, she swung her arm and made direct contact with Clark's head. Not a ball, not a shoulder, not a head. People gasped at the sound alone. The whistle blew right away. It was a common foul, but no one in that building thought it would stop there. For review, the referees headed to the monitor. The arena fell silent. Everyone is staring up at the replay during that odd, anxious pause. And there wasn't much doubt once it appeared on the big screen. It was raised to a flagrant one in terms of arm, angle, music, and touch. The music controversy erupted at that point. Was it unintentional? Was it annoyance? Was it computed? Music. With an average of 13.5, Rhea is among the league's most accurate rebounders. Boards for the evening. Typically, a player with that kind of timing doesn't miss that much. The audience was buzzing. While some applauded, others jeered. Colleagues looked down at one another. The building's interior temperature changed, and it exploded online. Videos appear on social media in a matter of seconds. The next headline came from Sports Talk, music shows. The rivalry had ceased to simmer. It was boiling. And this is what distinguishes headlines from stars. Caitlin Clark didn't flinch, react dramatically, or lose focus following the review, the contact, or the tense atmosphere in the arena. Calm as ever, She moved to the line and made both of her free shots. In an instant, the Indiana Fever had a 65-62 lead. However, she appeared energized rather than shaken. Clark scored 9 points in the last minutes of the third quarter. The hostility increased. The speed increased. Every item felt purposeful. She demanded the ball in crucial situations, pulled up with greater assurance, and attacked spaces more forcefully. It wasn't anarchy. Control was what it was. Despite the flurry of emotions surrounding her, she remained composed. That is pressure-filled leadership. She refused to back down from music or be intimidated. The moment, if anything, ignited something in her. The competitive spirit was evident in each sprint. Return to the defense. All calls are for the ball. Fear is not fuel. On the other hand, Angel Ree's night continued to become more difficult. She was benched after committing her fourth foul. Evident yet restrained frustration. Teresa Weatherspoon, the head coach, put her back in to begin the fourth quarter because she trusted her. That leash was short-lived. After getting her fifth foul early, Reese was forced to sit once more and watched as the game tightened without her on the court. She came back with 5:30 remaining, and her demeanor didn't change. She leaned toward that edge while being assertive and physical. Some refer to it as crossing a line, while others consider it to be intense. In any case, she accepted the antagonist, music, position, and as the competition intensified, the divisive narrative surrounding her only got louder. This is music that people weren't anticipating. Critics questioned Caitlin Clark's rookie defense prior to the season. Could she avoid the faster guards? In crucial situations, would teams attack her? Music. She responded to that herself late in the game. Marina Ma attempted to break away by using Camila Cardoso's sturdy screen. To music, prevent contact, the majority of novices might slide under that screen. Clark didn't. She struggled with it, shoulder passing by while remaining connected to the play. Mewbray stood up for what appeared to be a perfect three. Clark swatted it with great timing. Not a graze, not a deflection, a clean, confident block. She quickly flipped the court after grabbing the lost ball, straight into transition without a break or reset. After music, Clark threaded a tight pocket pass through traffic and had a brief pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston. Boston transitioned from defense to offense near the rim. A statement was made. Then came the famous shot. Final moments, close game. There was a strong sense of anxiety. Drifting just past the arc, Clark coiled around another screen from Boston. Without hesitation, one swift collect. She emerged from the depths. With that high, the ball departed her hands. Self-assured arc, the kind that causes a crowd to get up before the music even starts. Everything slowed for a moment. With her eyes fixed on the rim, she held her follow-through.
Take a snap.
As music fell through, the net split violently. As soon as the Indiana Fever increased the advantage to 84-77, she turned and roared at the audience. With her, the arena erupted. Co-workers benefited from it. The bench was upright. It was more than a three-pointer. It was like a proclamation. Music. That shot took on symbolic meaning in a rivalry already steeped in emotion and history. A moment of edge, confidence, control, and music. A reminder that at the height of the pressure, Clark wants the ball. The scoreboard showed 91-83 when the last music buzzer went off. The Fever had achieved their first back-to-back wins of the season and their second consecutive music victory over the Chicago Sky. Officially, momentum is changing. Music, the whole story was conveyed via Clark's stat line. 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 9 assists, and 23 points. Packing each column full. Everywhere is impacted. No rookie in WNBA history had ever recorded those numbers in a single game with that combination. It immediately put her in top company, not only among first-year players, but throughout the entire league. There was no hype. Music, it wasn't a story. It was production under duress. A profession defining a night in an increasingly intense rivalry. Angel Ree didn't avoid the situation after the game. Music, she publicly disagreed with the blatant one call and questioned the officiating. She stated that the referees had a significant impact on the game tonight, making it obvious that she wasn't changing her mind, music. Her piece was instantly deemed overly forceful by critics, who claimed it went too far in terms of music. Supporters retaliated by denouncing her as a strong rival who won't let music lessen her advantage. The media firmly leaned in, and the fan base split in two. If the rivalry was already fierce, the remarks made after the game fueled it even more. And just when it seemed like the music might stop, the rematch came. The cost of tickets reached all-time highs. There was more bustle. It felt like a playoff game when the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever faced off once more. Caitlin Clark set the tone early, with a fluid step-back three. Later, music blasted a deep one from far outside after receiving a pass from Tiffany Mitchell. Total assurance. It was more than just scoring, though. She discovered Elena Smith aiming for a simple victory. Next, a quick pass along the baseline to Courtney Wallace. Once more, the chemistry with Aaliyah Boston was evident, music, particularly when Clark made several deep threes in the fourth quarter. The Sky overcame the Fever's 12-point advantage, winning 82-82, 84-84 late after that. Additionally, in the conclusion, Reese snuck inside for a layup that iced the deal in a matter of seconds. Sky Clark ended with 17 points and 13 assists in the final. Music, score of 88-87. 7 to Boston, who added 18. Zoom out, music, and there are more players involved in this rivalry than just two. The league is becoming much more well-known. Music. Heated discussions concerning Clark's removal from Team USA for the Olympics and arguments over charter planes. These days, the spotlight seems to be on all the time. Every moment is analyzed, and every matchup trends. The WNBA is paying more attention to this rivalry. However, there's always that conflict between basketball and story. Music, the huge stakes, the intensity, the passion. Some perceive music and drama. Others witness development. This is evident. These days, Clark and Rhee are more than just musicians in this league. Its future is being shaped by them. It began with a swing, music, but it has developed into one of the most intense rivalries in basketball. Every game has a unique feel to it. Music, the stakes increase with each battle, and I have a feeling that this drama is far from finished. What do you think? A message sent or an accident? Music for more, subscribe and drop it down.